Okay, so realistic printing using a single frame is quite a popular thing now, and many people are doing it DIY. However, most of you will end up having too many black inks in the print and lose all of the detail when you try to print realistic image using halftone with just a single frame. So in this video, I'm going to show you more advanced way of printing a super realistic print to up your game. So let's go and find out. Hi guys, so this is the image that we're going to print. We're going to do the basic one first, like everybody does it, from image and convert it to halftone, and then that's how we're going to print a single file, and we're going to use that as our print method. So this is the image that we have, and we're going to adjust some of the things here, like remove the background and also make it a printable file. We'll clean up all these hairs, and also we'll make it a quite printable file. Before we do that, we have to go to image. We've got to image size and see whether the resolution is set at 300. The width and height is quite pretty normal, so that is fine. It's okay. And now I'm going to copy, Control A, Control C, or Command A, Command C. You go to file, create a new file, and my paper and my print size, my film size is 13 by 19. It's RGB resolution 300, and I'm going to copy this over here. Alright, so now I'm going to adjust. I'm going to remove the background and stuff and make it a printable file. The easiest way to remove the background is you go back to the original file, you go to this magic wand and just select subject. Usually these are in the newer versions of the Photoshop. If you're using the latest version, then you'll get all these things, but if you're using a very quite old Photoshop version, then you might not get this feature. Alright, so now the thing is selected over here. All I'll do is Control or Command A, Command C or Control C, then Control V or Command V. So now I've got the design. So I'll do this. What I'll do is Control A, Control C. I'll delete this one, the first one. I'll copy and paste over here. So now I've got the design without the background. Right from here, I'm going to do all the adjustment. Alright guys, so I've done some adjustment. I've made it bigger. I've cleaned up all the hairs over here, and now it looks quite printable. I don't have any background. So what I'll do is I'll go to file, I'll go to image, and I'm going to choose flatten this to grayscale, and after that I'm going to choose bitmap. I'll put 300 resolutions output, and then method halftone screen. Okay, and then I'm going to keep 50 and 45. I want to make this image quite realistic, so I'll not make the dot size bigger. Usually if you want to make the dot size bigger, you just lower this down to whatever, so you can test this out. For me, I'm going to use 50 because I'm using a 200 mesh count, and this is what I feel is the good one, because the rule of the thumb is that whatever mesh count you use, you divide it by 4. So I'm using 200, so if I divide by 4, I get 50. Angle, you can either use 45 or 22.5. This is the standard globalized standard angle that most of the screen printers in the world will use. For me, I'll use this at 45. You can test it out for yourself, do some testing, and you'll see. Shape, again, is also either round or ellipse. I like ellipse because the dots are always touching, connected to each other, and round will give you the individual rounds. So depending on your design, you can choose that as well. For me, as I'm going to print quite realistic, so I'll choose ellipse, and then I'll press OK. Now you can see, I have all the dots here. All the dots are connected to each other. You can see in the round shape, you'll see that all the dots are individual dots, but here you'll see it's all connected. So alright, so now the thing is, I'm going to go and print. Go to image, mode, grayscale, and you can also convert this to RGB, so it little bit gives you that extra black. After that, you go to file, file, print. I'll choose Canon IX6770, that's my printer. I'll go to settings. First thing first, I'll choose the paper size. Here mine is 13 by 19. I'll click the grayscale. I'll go to main, and I'll set the paper to plain paper. You can also choose photo platinum, but I'll choose plain paper and set this to 2 because that's the maximum it can go. After that, color intensity, I'll set it to dark and high. All right, and that's done, and then go for printing. Okay, so we are going to print. I think most of you have seen this method of screen printing. So what I'm going to do is, this is like a very DIY stuff. Okay, so I'm going to place my t-shirt over here, and this is a single frame, and I'm going to place it down somewhere like this, and I've already pre-flooded the screen, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the t-shirt, the frame like this so that it doesn't move, and I'm going to use this small squeegee to pass the ink down. Okay. Okay. One more time. This as well. Okay, so now I'm going to lift this up gently, very slowly. All right. So I'm going to just heat gun this and okay, so the print is quite nice, you know, but the problem with this print is that it has got too much of contrast. You almost lost too many details in the design. This is still okay. This can be an art form where you want to express, you know, you are not into too much of a detail, but you want to print like a deconstructed print. So this is fine. But let's say if you want to go more details, you want to bring the details in the pictures of this image. In that scenario, I would recommend to you to use the other method, which we are going to show you right after this. So in that method, we're going to use 2 frames. Instead of this single frame, we're going to use a base gray, and then we're going to use a black, which will kind of act as an highlight for white t-shirts. You know, most of the time, we think that with only just single frame on a white t-shirt, we can print this kind of prints, you know, all the time, right? This kind of prints all the time. We still can print, but you know, like I said, we start losing all these details. There's too much of black. The ink deposited to the garment or to t-shirt, you know, it's too much. That's why we see that all the details start losing, right? So let's see how we do professionally. Alright, so for this method, I have already exposed the film, everything is done. The color separation, I already have a video. I'll give you the link in the description. You can go and check that out. And also, we are also launching an online class very soon. So if you want to sign up for that, then definitely I have also given you that link in the description. You can sign up for the online class. We teach you everything about screen printing, from realistic image to there are many other insights that we try to teach you. So if you are into this thing, then you can go and sign up now. The link is in the description. Alright, so we'll continue with our print. So like I said, we are going to do 2-color print. That means we're gonna have a gray base and black highlight. Alright, so let's see how this thing print comes out, and let's jump right into the printing. So I'm going to load my t-shirt, and then I'm going to print my first layer of print. Okay, so now you can see the difference clearly. We have got more details in the face and over here as well, the shadows and all these things. So you can see that, by using this method, we are printing this print professionally without losing any details. Even if you see over here, you can see over here, we have this nice stitched line on the cap as well. We were able to capture that as well. Whereas in the other method, we were not able to capture anything. So that's why it is very important of what you want your art to be. If you want a very deconstructed art and you want to print in that way, you can use the first method. You can probably use a screen printing machine instead of putting down, but vice versa. You can use both the way. If that is what your brand is all about, you can do that. But if you want to print like very professional print, then I would recommend to use this method with 2 frames. You'll get a better result and it will absolutely look like it has been digitally printed out. So I hope you like this video, informative. But before we do that, what we are going to show you is we're going to show some alternative prints. Now we use the base as gray. Now we're going to see different colors. We'll keep the black as it is, but we're going to change the base colors to different colors and let's see the result. So let's go. Okay, so we're going to try with different ink for the base and we'll see what results can we bring to the design. So we'll try to create a little bit like a pop art. So let's see whether that can be worked. Okay, so now I'm going to print the rest of the colors and after that we're going to see how everything looks on different types of base color and the black highlight. So let's go and find out. Alright guys, so you can see we have got different layers of print, the gray, the green, the blue and the red as well. So you can try out different kinds of effects to get different results. So I hope you enjoyed this video. You can try out and see what best suit you. In this print, you'll get a very realistic print. You will get all the details in the design and you'll absolutely be having a very nice printed t-shirt. So all the best guys and see how this look will give you.